Okay, so welcome to the Center for International Development for a weekend of debates and discussions on international trade, on the shifts in the international order that are currently going on.
I really expect from us that we can create a very strong breeding ground for fresh ideas, not only in the sense of global solidarity and global justice, so even more to cope with the big challenges of this time, particularly in terms of a social and ecological transition. So let's believe in the power of ideas. We shouldn't underestimate us.
My hypothesis is there won't be trade alternatives without changing the way we produce and consume. Right now, trade is related especially to making profit. We have to explain the logic of capital to understand trade and to think of alternatives that are overall alternatives, not only alternatives to trade.
The governments, in a way, also for trade, but also for other things, create legal frameworks which clearly enable companies to circumvent all kinds of things, and this is a problem.
We can separate investment law from human rights. While the international law, investment protection law, has been sophisticated throughout the years, at the same time, human rights international law has been emptied in content.
This thing that we have seen in Europe already since the 1940s and 50s, that we Europeans need to collaborate in Africa in large infrastructure projects, for instance, in Africa, in order to become a stronger bloc in a very competitive world.
Having a multilateral organization to turn to use is going to empower countries to not be sucked into one bloc or the other. You take away those common rules of trade, and I can tell you that an individual country, whether it's in Asia or whether it's in Latin America or in Africa, is going to have a lot more pressure. Now they have no rules, they have to go with one side or the other, which means that they are going to limit their possibilities for development.
The most important priority should, of course, be addressing these trade injustices as part of a wider agenda on decolonization.
Trade policy should actually incentivize our clean energy transition and uplifting workers and people's movements around the world, as opposed to the past where it was an impediment to those important democratic goals.
There's an enormous amount of private cash sloshing around in the system, desperately searching for profitable investment opportunities. And I would argue that against the background of this crisis of overaccumulation, the economic crisis has spilled over into geopolitical confrontations.
In the coming years, trade policy should be put at the service of a fair, democratic, ecological transition.
Consuming less, distributing more, and being fairer, and having a real social and green transition.
Let's keep all of them working, let's keep in a dialogue, let's keep in a negotiation with each other, and let's not divide the world into two blocks, because that will prevent us from cooperating to deal with the real existential threats that we face.